So today's class is on the manipura chakra. We finished off Swadhisthana on Friday. That was really fun, wasn't it? And obviously we did the first chakra before that. Hello, Zawadi. Good to have you here. And with manipura chakra, the color is yellow. The seed sound is ram, ram. The element is fire. Okay. And we talked about how in the first chakra, if you remember the shadow side of the first chakra is our seat of infinite potential, and the shadow side of the first chakra was fear. Okay, second chakra, it's all about our creativity, it's about our abundance, and the shadow side of the second chakra was trauma, having that sense of being a victim. Third chakra, this is about our will. This is about our ability to take in life, to digest food, and it's about making things happen, okay? And with the third chakra, the shadow side of the third chakra is anger. All right, so if you feel angry, if you have like the sense of anger at life, we're going to be working on that. All right, so that's going to be where we are today. All right, so hello, Valerie from Nebraska. Christy, it's good to see you. Susan's back to being a Jersey girl. She was in Georgia. Hello, Rosa. Nice. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad. And oh, no way, Kelly's here. Did you see that?
I don't know if she saw
Kelly,
me yet.
come see your mom. Look, there she is. Isn't that fun? And you said that Franny's going to be joining in too?
Franny, I hope. And
I
my
hope
husband,
so
I don't know, John.
too. Yay.
Maybe my sister Eileen. Goodbye.
All right. So Zawadi says that he's feeling angry right now. And that's why you're here. Absolutely. All right. And one of the things that's important to remember that's really interesting is that and this is, I can't remember who told me this, but it's so powerful, is that anger is the public face of fear. So that there's a really, strong tie to fear. All right. So I'm glad you're here too. Kato's outside, Tanya, Anna, wonderful, wonderful. All righty. So let's go ahead and come to our mats. And I'm going to speak up. Christine is watching her comments. My iPad is about to die, gosh darn it. That's what you get when you're traveling. So if you can't hear me, let me know. So feel yourself rooting down into this moment. Palms shine forward, soften the knees. And just feel yourself here on the mat, scanning the body. Manipura chakra, this is the engine. This is our power source. So, you think about, obviously, the solar plexus. We've got the umbilical cord that comes in from our mothers. You can think about this as like there's an umbilical cord coming in from the universe that continues to come in to feed our manipura chakra. Palms shine forward. And let's inhale those arms out and up, reach up. Hands together. Drawing the hands down. Inhale those arms out and up, reach up. Hands together down the midline. And inhale those arms out and up, reach up. And come up onto the balls of the feet, opening the eyes, good balanced gaze. Feeling yourself really opening up to this practice, opening up to the energy that will sustain you. Another breath, settle those heels down and release down. And I invite you to think about your relationship with energy. I think that's going to be the intention of this practice. Soften those knees as much as you need to. Head hangs heavy. Allow yourself just to melt down. Neck is long. Arms are soft. Inhale, arch up halfway, flat back. And exhale, release down. Step that right leg back. Framing the feet, shoulders down the back. Pour energy down that leg, out the heel. And go inside and ask yourself, what is my relationship with my will? What is my relationship with follow through? Breathing. Ah, did you hear the dog? I heard the dog. Drop the knee down. Low runner's lunge. That's the go. Hips release down. Relax down. And set those hips back. Toes stay down on the level. And Franny is here. Yay. Franny, we're so glad you're here. Exhale it back. Toes right. Franny is here. Yay. Franny, we're so glad you're here. Exhale it back. Toes rise up. Breathing into the back of that leg. And inhale forward. So thinking about your will, thinking about your ability to follow through. Exhale back. Toes rise up. And inhale forward. You curl the back toes under. Right hand comes down, left hand on the knee, just twisting open, just a gentle twist. You can also keep that right knee down. Breathing. And then release the hand down, pouring energy down the leg. And then ground those hands and step it back, down dog. Walk your dog out. Head hangs heavy. And as you think about your relationship with will, your will to do things, your willpower, glide forward. We're going to do a lot of really interesting self-inquiry here. Coming forward into your plank pose, really feeling the power, feeling the energy in the hands. Obviously, manipura chakra is focused on the core, focused on the belly. Breathing. And then come on down, Ashtanga Pranam. Ground the hips, hands under shoulders, and lift up. Bhujangasana. Elbows hug the waist. Coming up. Breathing. And then come on to the knees. Press the hands. Puppy dog stretch. Anapatasana. Ooh. And then plug those feet in. Curl the toes. Lift the hips. Down dog. Head hangs heavy. And step that right leg forward. Coming into a high runner's lunge on this side. So when you think about willpower, when you think about your ability to make things happen, how do you feel? How do you feel? What occurs to you? Drop that knee, low runner's lunge. Right? Because very often our anger is rooted in the sense that we are not living an authentic life. Set those hips back. When we're living in a place of authenticity, when we're plugged into our truth, energy flows, right? Inhale it forward, knee comes forward. So when you're in this place of doing things that do not speak to your heart, exhale it back towards. Rise up, breathing into the back of that leg. Folding over that leg. that's when our energy gets depleted. And that's when we get angry. When we feel like, oh man, I don't want to do this, but I'm having to draw on my self-discipline. I'm having to effectively, in some ways, inhale it forward. I'm having to squander. I'm having to squander my energy on something that does not serve me, that does not speak to my heart. So how do we handle that? We've talked about this in the past, right? Exhale it back towards rise up. And inhale forward. And curl the back toes under. Left hand comes down and twisting open in the other direction. Breathing here. Another breath. And bring the hands down. And step that foot forward, coming into your forward fold. Hang out, hang heavy. Head hangs heavy, arms hang heavy. Soften those knees as much as you need to in your forward fold. Inhale, arch up halfway, flat back. And exhale, release. And then inhale those arms all the way up, reach up, lift up. Exhale, hands together. Alrighty, so we're going to take a variation of breath of fire. We've done this before. So Christine, you're welcome to either take a seat and feel free if you need to move forward. I see the sun creeping up on you. So it's warm out here already. It's going to get warmer if we're in the sun. This might be migratory yoga. We might be moving our mats as we go. All right, so we're going to do a breath of fire. And with that breath of fire, we're going to do a variation of Nadi Shodhana. So you might need to grab your tissues. You know how I'm always joking about the fact that I need a tissue. So there you go. Christine just grabbed her tissue. So we're going to take our left hand is in Gyan Mudra. That's like an OK sign. It's on the back of our leg. And we're going to take our index finger and our middle finger, and we're going to put it right here in the middle of our forehead. Our thumb is going to close our right nostril, and we're going to inhale through the left and then we're going to exhale through the right. And we're going to keep doing that. Okay, we're not going to switch back and forth like we usually do with Nadi Shodhana. And we're going to do breath of fire. So for those of you who have high blood pressure, if you're pregnant, if you're on the first couple days of your cycle, just do regular Nadi Shodhana, okay? Alternate nostril breathing, which is very balancing. But here, we're going to be balancing while bringing fire in to the manipura chakra, okay? So the way it works is we inhale through the left, and then we close the left, and we exhale through the right. So it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because we do it pretty fast. And if you start feeling lightheaded or whatever, slow it down. It's your practice. It's your listen to your body, okay? So it's, and already I can feel I need a tissue. So you inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. And we're going to do that for about a minute. Pause at any moment where you feel like you just need to, come back to it. Okay, you can go ahead and start now. And then we're going to take a few breaths, and then we're going to do it on the other side, okay? Close the eyes, roll the eyes up and in, really connecting with Ajna Chakra, our sixth chakra. And with the breath of fire, we're pumping the belly in, right? We're compressing the belly in, drawing the belly in, and we're really enlivening. We're engaging our manipura chakra. And you're going to start feeling hot, right? Because it's the breath of fire. It's very engaging. Kapalabhati is the skull shining breath. It brings a lot of energy up, okay? Another few breaths on this side, and then release. Okay, release. All right. You might be like, it's very warm in here. Who turned up the heat? Okay. Same hand. Gyan Mudra still at the left. Same hand. And now we're going to close the left nostril. We're going to inhale through the right, and we're going to go back and forth. So it's inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Pumping the belly. pumping the belly, so that on the exhale, you pump the belly. And initially, you might need to do this pretty slowly because there's a fair amount of coordination, and you might be like, ah! That's totally normal, right? But otherwise, when you get to it, it's... And every time you're exhaling, pump the belly in, squeeze the belly. We're really enlivening manipura chakra. We're enlivening our third chakra. The sun is burning bright in our belly, okay, bringing the heat in. And when we do this, it really, enlivens this space. Remember, the element of the manipura chakra is fire. As if I needed to tell you that, right? You're feeling hot, aren't you? Okay, let's do another few breaths. And release. Yes, very energizing. Bringing up lots of prana. And one of the things, I was listening to Anand's lecture yesterday on manipura chakra, and he was talking about how where attention goes, energy flows. In Sanskrit, it's yatta, chitta, tatta, prana. Okay? Where our consciousness resides, that's where energy flows. All right? So as we're thinking about our will, as we're thinking about anger, we need to really start peeling back the layers there, peeling back the onion. Okay? So I want you to continue to think about that. All right. So coming back to the head of the mat, standing up. Now that we've gotten some fire in the belly, we're going to keep doing core, y'all. You're like, yay! All right, shine those hands forward. Inhale those arms up. And you might remember that Patanjali, do you remember how Patanjali talked about the ways that we relate to people? We talked about that a month or so ago in class. Come on forward into our forward fold. And he talked about compassion for the suffering. Inhale, arch up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release. Reverence for the wise. Friendliness to the joyful. Step that right leg back. Hands frame the foot. And then step the left foot back. Down dog. Walk your dog out. And then here's the one that we really need to plug into for the manipura chakra. Indifference toward the wicked. Indifference towards the wicked. Head hangs heavy. Breathing here, you down dog. And then float that right leg back and up. Stretch it up. Roll the foot on the ankle. So when it comes down to anger, step that right foot forward. Remember that phrase that we just talked about, right? Yatta, chitta. Come on forward, warrior one. Tatta, prana. Where our attention goes, energy flows. So think about this from an anger standpoint. Inhale, come on. Into your Vira 2. Lengthening your stance. Shoulders release down. Beautiful stretch from fingertip to fingertip. And then straighten that leg and glide into your triangle pose. So what that means is the more that you marinate in anger, the more you cultivate a mindset of anger, the more likely, this is more than just our emotions. This is the way we're wiring our brains. Breathing here in your triangle. And then float back up, Vira 2. And take reverse. And side angle. So when we wire our brains to be quick to anger, right? And very often anger can feel good because it can almost feel self-righteous. There can be an energy in anger that can fuel us. Come on up. And there was a great phrase, breathing here in your warrior 2. Another breath. And then hands down either side of the foot. Shoot, I'm trying to remember who said it. I heard it in a podcast a month or so ago. Oh, I have to think about it. Glide forward, coming forward. And this person said that while anger can be, um, it can induce us into action, it's never transformative. Living in a place of anger never serves us. Okay? Breathing here in your plank. And then come on down, Ashtanga. Come on. Hands under shoulders. And lift up. Bhujangasana. Lifting into your core. And just to let you all know, my iPad is dead, so I cannot follow your comments down here from the mat. Sorry about that. Lift back up into your down dog. And remain steady. So with us plugging into our will, plugging into our sense of, let's float our left leg back and up, stretch it up, reach it up, and step it forward. Coming into your Vira 1. Take your time, set your feet, lift up. Breathing here in your Virabhadrasana 1. And then open it up. So going back to that idea of indifference to the wicked, because that might be really weird. You might be like, what are you saying? That almost feels like I'm giving up. And I don't think it's about giving up at all. Not at all. That's not the message here. Straighten that leg and glide forward. It's about the fact that the more that that anger, those people live in our heads, they rob us of our energy. So like if you have a passion around racial justice, rather than, living in a place where you're so angry for those who are doing things wrong, the better path forward is to look at the people who are doing things right. Right? Float up. Virabhadrasana 2. Another breath. And hands come down either side of the foot. Walk your dog out. Did you miss something?
We missed reverse.
We missed reverse. I was wondering if we did it. I was like, I don't think we did. We'll reverse in a second. We'll get there. Float that right leg back and up. Stretch it up. Step it forward. Vira 1. So think about what an incredible shift that would be. If you're like, I can just have indifference to these people who make me angry. I'm just going to let go of my focus upon them. Step off onto that right foot, coming into your Vrikshasana. All right, I owe y'all a reverse on the left side. I'll remember.
And extended.
Breathing and extend it. And then come on up. Breathing here in your tree. Rooting down. Remember, the only place we don't put the sole of the foot is on the side of the knee. Another breath. And then float that leg back, coming into your Vira 3. Beautiful balance. Arms can be like airplane wings if you'd like. And then coming forward into your standing split. And then bend that leg and touch it down. Virabhadrasana 1. Lift up. And then hands other side of the foot. Come on down. Down dog. Walk it out. So just continuing to think about the way that your will shows up in your life. Breathing here. And then let's bring our knees out, toes touch, palm down into your extended child. Palms are up. Just soaking in this energy. Soaking in this awareness. Another breath. And then plug the hands in. Curl the toes, lift the hips. Down, up. And float that left leg back up. Reach up, lift up. And stepping forward. Coming into your Vera 1. Beautiful. And let's step off into our Vrikshasana on this side, tree on this side. So really ground that left leg down, taking your foot wherever it suits you. The only place we don't want it is on the side of the knee. Hands at the heart space. Breathing. Another breath. And then float it back into your warrior 3. Arms can go back like airplane wings if you like. Good balance. Root down. And then hands come down, standing split. Bend that knee, touch it down. And open up into your Vera 2. So I can give you the reverse that I owe ya. And then take reverse. Beautiful. And then side angle. And float up. And hands come down. So there's so much to tease out here, right? There's layer upon layer, which is why we have this practice, this continual practice. Let's bring the knees down, hands under our shoulders, because we are no doubt, we're all so complicated, right? We're like, inhale, lift into your cow, and exhale, arch into your cat. There's no doubt that there are so many layers to us. Inhale, lift up. And then press your hands into the mat and roll back into your malasana. You're split. You're not your split, you're squat. Your yogic squat. So with malasana, you can double the mat if you need a little bit more height on the heels. Elbows come to the inside of the knees. Allow the hips to just drop down. You can also sit down onto a block, another breath, and then set those hips down. And remembering here, as always, to do what suits you best. If you're in a place where you're like, I just need to do less, well then lay down on the mat, take a shavasana, take a break, just relax, okay? So coming into a seat on your mat, arms shine forward, coming into Ardha Navasana, half boat. So balancing on the sacrum, and you can totally touch the toes down if you need a little bit of a break. Okay, we want a beautiful bright heart. Breathing here, hands together, and then we just go back and forth, working on the obliques. Breathe into the belly, knowing that we're firing up the belly. Manipura Chakra. The color is yellow. The seed sound is ram, ram. Going back and forth. And at any moment where you're like, this isn't serving me any longer, then you take a break. You stop. Okay? Another breath. And release. And hang on those shins. Bring the chin down to the chest. And as you continue, there's so much to tease apart here. That's what I was talking about a few moments ago, being like layers of an onion, right? Understanding, who you are. And the more that you understand who you are, the better that you are then able to say, this is why I'm angry. I'm angry because I really want to be like this, and I'm acting like that. I want to do this, but I'm having to do that. So having that kind of knowledge, that self-knowledge, makes such a huge difference. So coming on to the back body. Just changing the angle of my mat. I'm used to having y'all see me straight on. So coming on to the back body. Bring the knees into the chest. and rock it out. Swim those knees around. Hug the knees in. Roll the feet on the ankles. And allow those knees to drop down. Arms alongside the body. And if you have a block, you might should grab the block. Okay? And squeeze the block between the knees. If you don't, just squeeze the block in. It's all good. It's all good. Head, hands behind the head, and just lift the tailbone up and come on the exhale, and then inhale it down. So it's a pretty subtle move. Not a lot of lift, not a lot of movement. Just go lifting up and down. Exhale on the effort, the inhale on the release. Squeezing the knees on that block, feeling the engagement through the inner thighs. Oh, y'all, I'm sweating. Really lighting up the belly. So this is where it all starts. It all starts here in Manipura Chakra. This chakra feeds all of our other chakras. And release. Whew. Man, I'm hot. Drop the knees down, look in the opposite direction. Inhale the knees up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale over. So with the eyes closed, just asking yourself, hug those knees in, rock it out again, roll the feet on the ankles. Asking yourself again, what would it be like for me to set down my anger? What would it be like for me to just, have that indifference towards the wicked, as Patanjali says, and pouring my energy into that in life which serves me? How would that look like? What would it look like? How would it feel to you? And remembering, as we use with the racial justice example, palms down, heels are up towards the hips, and let's just lift up into our half bridge and exhale down. This doesn't mean you're giving up. This isn't about giving up, having this indifference towards the wicked. It means you're giving them none of your energy. None of your energy to the people in life who frustrate you, whether it's like maybe politicians or maybe it's co-workers or whatever it is. You're just pouring your energy into the things that serve you. So with like the racial justice example, saying I'm not going to think about the people who are doing it wrong. I'm going to learn more about the people who are doing it right. I'm going to read about that. I'm going to learn from those people. I'm going to have those people inspire me rather than having the other people, infuriate me. So lifting the hips up and exhaling down. Yata chitta tata prana. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. Lifting the hips up and exhaling. And hug the knees into the chest. Rock it out. Rock it out. Swim those knees around. And then extend that left leg long, or if you have a tweaky low back, the sole of the left foot can be on the earth. Extend that right leg up overhead, drawing the leg in. Breathing here in our Supta Pada Ustasana. Breathing in the back of that leg. And eyes are closed again, and just engaging with this sense of where do I spend my energy? Am I spending my energy in ways that serves me? Right? What would it feel like for you to have an absolutely inexhaustible flow of energy? What would that look like? How would that feel for you? Breathe back up. And then strap around the ball of the foot, or you can hold on to the calf, hold on to the hamstring. You can take your peace fingers and put them around the big toe. And you're going to drop that leg out to the right, nice and slow. If you have a block, you can kickstand that leg and breathe into the inner corner. Another breath. Float that leg up. Draw the leg in. Yatta chitta, tatta prana. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. So do we really want our attention to be stuck on the things that are wrong, that aren't working? Do we really want to have that be where we're pouring our energy? I love that Sanskrit phrase. It's all about appreciative inquiry, isn't it? So scoot the hips a little bit to the right and gone down. Y'all know how much I use appreciative inquiry in our yoga practices. So that's effectively what it's arguing. Those yogis. David Cooperrider is the one who claims having created appreciative inquiry, but I think the yogis might have had a jump on him 2,000 years ago. So focusing on what's working, focusing on where you want to spend your energy. Another breath. And unwind the spine. Float that leg up. Draw the leg in. Roll the foot on the ankle if you'd like. And extend the leg line. And from a practice standpoint, remember yoga is not just practice here on the mat, it's practice out into our lives. So allow the feet to flop open, hands to be up, and breathe. Breathe here in your mini shavasana. Feeling the length in that right side of the body. And then straighten the spine out as you might need to. And then let's extend the left leg up overhead. Maybe extend the right leg long. So as you come off the mat into the world, when you notice yourself getting angry, when you notice yourself like getting frustrated or irritable, my invitation to you is to breathe, take 3 deep breaths, and just say to yourself, where attention goes, energy flows. And just invite yourself to just redirect your energy. And you can say indifference towards the wicked, or use whatever language speaks to you. Wicked, I think it's a little bit old-fashioned. Breathing here. And then take your peace fingers and draw that leg out to the left. Breathe in. I know what this is like. I have to say that my go-to emotion, bring that right up overhead, is definitely anger. Anger. Absolutely anger. Scoop the hips to the left and come on down into your twist. Just wringing it out. And I have to say that since I've started this practice, there's the fancy term for it is self-directed neuroplasticity, and that's our ability to rewire our brains through attention, through deliberate practice. Put that leg back and up, overhead. Breathing into the back of that leg. So when you notice yourself getting angry and you immediately interrupt yourself and breathe, and then redirect your energy, over time you will become less reactive. You will become a less angry person. I promise you, because it's happened to me. Float that leg down. And just straighten out the body on the mat. Maybe windshield wiper those knees. And if there's one last thing for you to do as you settle down into Shavasana, I invite you to do it now. Just allowing your body to melt down. Whatever it is that would just feel really good to have this practice be complete. And just melt down into your Shavasana. The feet flop open, the hands flop open. Just relax now and release down. Be soft. Allow yourself just to melt down. So our poem today is The Dancer by David Tucker. And David Tucker writes, her eyes are focused on the balancing point no one else sees. As she spins in this quiet made of mirrors and light, a blue rolls on a nail, and then stops and lifts her arms in an older pause, and leans out a little more, there in slow motion on the air. So this is us dancing, right? Dancing to find our balance, to find our truth. And we're looking for the thing that no one else sees, because it's our truth. It's what's right for us. And as we talked about earlier in class, that's where so much of our anger comes from, is that our society, our family, our friends might tell us, do this or be this way or have these things, do this kind of job, wear these kinds of clothes, cut your hair this way. And when it doesn't serve us, when we're like, that's not really who I am, it makes us angry, doesn't it? It makes us angry. So this is about us peeling back the layers of the onion to understand more and more who we are so that we can plug into that wellspring of energy, that wellspring of just truth, authenticity, discovering our willpower, the willpower that comes from within, that feeds our wellness. Breathing, another few breaths. And then as you're ready, bringing movement back to the body, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling the hands and wrists, rolling the head on the neck, rolling the hands. And come on over onto the right side, cradling the heart, and wrap your arms around yourself. Always our foundation is just our loving kindness, our loving compassion, and our acceptance towards ourselves just as we are. That's our foundation. So give yourself the biggest hug, sending yourself love, and then carefully roll over and sit up, taking an easy seat. Hands can be soft on the knees. Let's take a nice big inhale. Om out together.